Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be Vikes fans because, man, it is what it is. Vikings stumble out of the gates in the 2023 calendar year, allegedly losing to the greasy grimy Green Bay Packers, 41-17. Although Nick Mullins come back at the end, I don't know, but yeah, it was just a rough game all the way around. It started out wonky. The Vikings, Kevin O'Connell is going to be a great head coach, but these no calls, no shows in big time games, it's really unacceptable. So this team sort of stumbled in. Maybe they had the New Year's Eve hangover and they spotted the Packers 14 points, allowed them to return a kick, then had a fluke pick six, and it was a wrap after that. Yeah, it was just one of those days. And what's frustrating is that the Vikings had everything to play for. The Eagles lost to the Saints, opening the door up for the Vikings to get the 1 seed, and they could have ended the greasy grimy Green Bay Packers season, and not so much. And it was one of those spots where you're just waiting for the comeback. It's like, oh, now they're going to turn on the Jets. But the way that the ball was bouncing today, it just didn't happen. So Vikings do fall allegedly 41-17, but the Vikings are still 12-4 on the season, and TBD what's going to happen as the Raiders and the Niners are heading into overtime. If the Niners win, the Vikings are bumped down to the 3 spot. If the Niners lose to the Raiders, the Vikings will still retain the 2 seed in the NFC. So TBD there. So as we do with the post game, we do 10 takeaways from the game, and then we'll do winners and losers in a video a little bit later on. But takeaways, some days things just go bad. And this was just a rough damn day all the way around. Just right off the bus, you could tell that this team didn't wake up on the right side of the bed. And the whole, when Metellus blocked that punt, you're like, okay, here we go. Vikings making some plays when they need one. And they had the ball at the 1. And they had to settle for a field goal. And right away, you just got that feeling. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This one's going to be rough all the way around. And like we said, number 2, they had everything to play for. Like, if the Vikings won, they kept the heat on the Eagles for the 1 seed. And they could have overtaken Philly for the number 1 spot in the NFC the final week of the season. But it's all for naught. And now we're scoreboard watching to see if the Vikings remain the 2 seed. Now, I will say, if the Niners do win, and the Vikings end up the 3 seed, and they don't control their own destiny for the 2 seed anymore, because if the Vikings win against the Bears week 18, and then the Niners beat the Cardinals at home, the Niners would still have the 2 seed. So if the Vikings do end up with the 3 seed, I would say, you can't drop to the 4. You're going to be stuck in the 3. I would say rest the starters, because, a couple of those injuries were just horrible. The Vikings have been relatively lucky with injuries throughout the season, and today it just did not go their way. It's rough. O'Connell mistakes where Kevin O'Connell, like we said, he's going to be a great NFL head coach. He's already got 12 wins in his first season. That's close to breaking the record. Actually, that might be the record. But yeah, he's done a fantastic job changing the culture of this team. But no calls, no shows in a couple of key games. So at Philly, no call, no show. At the versus the Cowboys after the big win at the Bills, no call, no show. The Detroit game, you could have won the division there, not so much. And then you had the greasy grimy Green Bay Packers, where you had everything on the line, and just nada again. Greg Joseph missed from 46 and 50. So after him being he's got 5 game-winning kicks, so respect. Also kicking that 61-yarder from the parking lot against the Giants, that's fantastic. But it could have been 41-9. Like, the final score could have been 41-23. But instead, you playing. Yeah. Offensive line injuries piled up. It's reported that Austin Schlutman broke a tibia or fibula, one of the leg bones. So he's going to be out for the rest of the regular season and also probably the playoffs, it looks like. Also, Brian O'Neill exited with a calf injury. I haven't seen an update on that, but hopefully it is minor. I haven't seen anything. Yeah. Jefferson only got 1 catch for 15 yards. Now he needs 193 against Chicago to break the record. So what seemed like an easy putt, not so much. But this game, I don't put this game on Cousins. I don't at all. Where Kirk, 18-31 for 205. He started out the game 1 for 9. 1 touchdown to Speedy Naylor in garbage time, as well as three interceptions. I don't put 2 of the interceptions on Kirk Cousins, ricochet off of some drop passes. The one where Cousins just chucked it downfield towards Thielen's general direction, I mean, that's on him, but also that was in desperation catch-up mode. It happens, man. But yeah, the offensive line was atrocious. Chris Reed was not ready to be center. How many procedure penalties did the Vikings have, whether it's false start or delay of game, where they just literally could not snap the ball? And that's fundamental football. It's messed up, man. Jefferson literally cannot do it himself. So Jefferson was shadowed by Jar, but also, dirty little secret, he had safety help over the top every single time. They were bracketing him. So I don't want to hear Jar talking all this junk about he shut down Jefferson. No. I think what actually shut down Jefferson more was the double team, as well as the Vikings couldn't get out of their own damn way with injuries along the offensive line. Kirk Cousins didn't have time. Kirk Cousins literally could not get the snap. So yeah, I don't say that Jar did a whole lot there. But, yeah, like we said, Jefferson, it seemed like it was a gimme that he was going to break the Megatron record of 1964, but now he needs a $193, so that's rough. That's rough, man. Non-existent pass rush. So Rodgers was sacked one time by Diesel Dalvin Tomlinson, but he didn't face a lot of heat all damn day. And Za'Darius, Daniil, Bueller, Wanham, Patrick Jones, anyone? Could anyone show up and get after the quarterback? No. But like I said, the Niners have the ball now. It looks like they're going to wrap this thing up. So it looks like they are going to be the 2 seed. And if that does happen, and the Vikings are stuck in the 3, rest the starters. Rest starters. Rest Cousins, rest Jefferson, rest Dalvin, rest Za'Darius, rest Thielen, Harrison, Patrick Peterson, rest the veterans. Just shut it down and make sure that you're fully healthy, ready to go to host the 6th seed in the opening wild card round. So let's see here. Let's see, Niners still going on. Except they got first and goal from the Vegas 3, it looks like. So I think that they're going to win. But looking at the NFC. Yeah, so looks like the Niners are going to pull this one out, move to 12-4. They'll move up to the 2. Vikings will be down at the 3 seed. They'll be hosting the New York Football Giants in all likelihood. Actually, yeah, the Giants did clinch the 6th seed. Yeah, it looks like, because no one can catch them. Now, the Seahawks, the Lions, and the Packers are now all champing at the bit for that 7 seed. And the Lions and the Packers play each other. If the Packers win, they are in. If the Lions win and the Seahawks lose, who did the Seahawks play? It doesn't matter. Whoever the Seahawks play week 18, if they lose and the Lions win, the Lions are in. Yeah. All right, so San Francisco just won. Vikings are now the 3 seed. So now, yes, I think they should rest everyone and then go from there. And then what's going to happen in the playoffs? So I understand that games like this, games like the Cowboys game and the Eagles game really leave a sour taste in your mouth. But, the Vikings, in all likelihood, are going to be and not in all likelihood, are going to be hosting the 6th seed Giants. Open up wild card weekend. Beat them last week. All right. And you are going to be home at US Bank Stadium. Yes, if and when you do advance, you're probably going to go on the road now at the 2 seed Niners in all likelihood, unless they get upset by the 7 seed incoming. So, is what it is. Is what it is. I understand it's easy to be snarky and look at the glass half empty right now, but now, Vikings still division champs, still going to host a playoff game. Sun will come up tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But that's it. That's the post-game wrap-up show.